You walk into a buzzing office at the Rochester Institute of Technology. The chatter is silent but vibrant. Hands fly across the room signing requests, jokes, and schedules. Here in ASL at work, language isn't just spoken, it's performed, lived, and deeply understood. But how do you move from awkward gestures to genuinely fluent, respectful communication with deaf colleagues? Stay with me because cracking that code means more than just knowing signs. It means joining a community. First step, breaking the ice with more than just words. ASL at work goes beyond the alphabet, creating authentic introductions that set the tone for deeper connections. At the start of the course, William Newell invites you into a scene where students sign their names and share where they come from. Not just to memorize vocabulary, but to reveal identity. Deanna Bray's expressive hands light up stories of her hometown and job. The text shows how a simple, "Who are you?" turns into a meaningful connection, grounding conversation in culture. Learning ASL here isn't just drills. It's syncing your body like an instrument in an orchestra. Think of it as jazz. Not everything is scripted. Newell explains grammar as a natural flow, with space and facial expressions acting like tempo and rhythm, making the language feel alive and intuitive, not rigid or robotic. The real magic happens when you realize that your signs aren't just words. They're an invitation to belong. Students report feeling more confident and witnessed, showing how mastering ASL opens doors to true community at work, not just functional communication. You're not just speaking, you're sharing a lived experience. Workplaces aren't just about tasks, they're arenas of culture and relationships. ASL at work lays out how to navigate duties and social moments with fluency and respect. In the unit on making appointments, the text shows a lively dialogue where Rosa Lee Tim negotiates meeting times with a deaf client. By watching the DVD's expressive dialogue, learners see how subtle shifts in facial expressions signal urgency or flexibility, avoiding misunderstandings common in spoken meetings cluttered by language gaps. Sharing isn't only about data, it's social glue. Newell illustrates how to sign about your family and interests, moving beyond cold logistics. Think of this like passing a potluck dish at work. Offering a piece of your life invites camaraderie and trust, essential ingredients for collaboration. Workdays shift with the weather and health. Signing these topics keeps communication complete. The book's health section gives a vivid example of how to explain symptoms accurately, showing that good ASL skills prevent mistakes that could turn a headache into a medical emergency. These signs aren't small talk, they're safety signals. The heart of ASL at work beats in its deep dive into grammar and deaf culture. Understanding these layers transforms signing from mimicry to mastery. Newell dedicates whole sections to the visual grammar unique to ASL. For example, he explains how using space, a bit like setting up chess pieces, helps you organize and clarify meaning. Facial expressions act like punctuation marks, making or breaking a sentence. The text's illustrations show how a slight eyebrow raise changes a statement into a question, a subtlety lost without practice. Diving into deaf culture, the book highlights stories of deaf legends like C.J. Jones, whose presence on the DVD models not just language but pride and identity. Culture here isn't an add-on, it's the frame through which language lives. Newell stresses that joining the deaf community means respecting its customs, humor, and values, key to communication beyond words. Finally, the book's DVD isn't an afterthought but a powerhouse tool for practice. With exercises tailored to real work and social settings, you get to rehearse both expressive and receptive skills actively. This outside-the-classroom repetition is the workout your fingers need, turning hesitation into the confident signing you saw in Deanna Bray's on-screen dialogues. Remember that lively office in Rochester? The signing hands, the pride, the real conversations. That's what ASL at work invites you into, a living language community. So try this. Next time you're learning a new ASL sign, don't just mimic the motion, learn the culture behind it. That's where true communication begins. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.